Alright guys, how's it going? This is Parker. I'm here with John from Rokblokz.
Hey guys.
And today we're going to be doing an install, some of the Rokblokz mud flaps on a 2014 Ford Fiesta ST. So here's what you're going to be getting. This is the package. On the left here we have the front mud flaps and have the rears. And also forgot to include here, with the setup, you'll get some decals to put on as you want. You can pick the different colors or just leave them off, whatever you prefer. So we have the little hardware baggies, some of the documentation here. Has some nice pictures to show you exactly how to put it on, but today we'll be doing a little video for you. And here's the tools you need. Pretty much just a electric drill a couple holes, and then we have just a flathead and this nifty little screwdriver here. Just a quick little note, so make sure you put, if you're putting on the decals, put them on before you put the flaps on. And also obviously make sure you're putting them on the correct side. Should be pretty easy to put on, just like a sticker.
Got to remove that inner insert, and then this other insert right here. Just like that. Front end cap just kind of gently pops off. Okay. So the next step is to align the mud flap with the lower two holes so that we can mark the upper hole that needs to be drilled for the final insert. The upper hole that we'll be drilling is only going through the plastic fender liner. There's no metal or anything being drilled. It's a very simple, it's not doing anything to the car, other than that. So you want to make sure that you get the holes lined up with the actual mounting points inside. So that's what we're going to try and do right now. It needs to be pretty close, but not exact. We do have slots, mounting slots for the hole, so it allows for some adjustment. There we go, mark the hole, now we'll drill it. Alright, that's the hole we've got marked. Just using a 1/4 inch drill bit here. That's it. Okay, so the metal clips, you can pry them open just a little bit, not very much, just a little bit. It makes them slide over the tabs easier. There we go. That's it. And then we'll put the large plastic insert, goes on the innermost hole. Let's see here. There we go, snap it in. And the smallest insert goes in the hole you just drilled. Should be very tight, is kind of the idea. Keeps it from spinning. Alright, so for this next part, need to make a small cut right there, because what we want to do is tuck this whole piece of this of the fender liner behind the edge of the fender to help give this some rigidity. I'm just going to snip right here, about a 1/2 inch in or so. And then carefully tuck this behind. Like that. And go ahead and replace the fender side skirt cap here. We've already installed just lightly the innermost mounting point with the screw and the spacer. And we'll do the rest of it. And for the screws and spacers, we're using the two short screws with no spacers for the middle and the upper point, and then the longer screw with the spacer is used at the innermost mounting point.
Alright, so that's how we do the front. Pretty much the same thing on the other side.
Having your wheel turned out like this allows more room to reach in here when you're doing the screwdrivers and taking out the clips and stuff, except for drilling the top hole. So when you want to drill the top hole, turn the wheels, drill the hole, and then turn them back, and it'll make actually installing the mud flap much easier. Pull the wheel off to gain access to be able to drill out the rivet and make the install, well, doable. Alright, first thing we're going to need to do is drill out this rivet to expose the mounting point. We're going to start with a 1/4-inch bit and then work our way up to the larger bit, the larger final bit. There it goes. Pretty easy. The rest of it's all plastic in here, so switch out bits here. That's it, just a little bit, about a 1/2 inch in or so, just to allow for the large inserts. Right, next we're just popping out these inserts here. Some needle nose pliers also help with the removal of these guys. There we go. Go. Expose the mounting points behind, which we will now place some metal clips behind. Again, slightly prying open the metal clips, just a little bit. You don't want to go too much because they will actually break if you go too much further than this. Just a little bit there. There we go. The mat, large insert goes in the bottom hole that we created. Just like that. The long spacer, you have 2 rubber spacers, and they're rubber so that they can actually compress a little bit during the install. The longer spacer is used at the lower point, with the shorter spacer being used at the upper point. If they're a little bit too long or need to be trimmed a little bit, again, the rubber, so it's pretty easy to do. Longer screws for the upper 2 mounting points, shorter screw for the lowest mounting point. We've installed the top 2 screws Again, with the shorter spacer at the very top, the longer spacer goes in the lower of the top two screws, the middle hole. Again, both long screws, and the shorter screw used at the bottom here with the insert. Get the screws so they're in there pretty good. Don't tighten them all the way down until you can stand back and adjust the mud flap. Make sure it's square with the car. Straighten them down, or however you like it to look. And again, the top two spacers come seemingly a little bit long, but as you tighten the screws down, they will compress, and it allows the mud flap to just get a nice flush fit with the car. Okay, so we're going to leave the mud flap fairly loose. The screws they're in there, but they're not tightened down, so we can put the wheel back on, get the car back down level, and then see if the mud flap is straight up and down, and then we'll go ahead and tighten them up.
Alright, here's the rear flap, just to give you an idea. Pretty sturdy on there, pretty tight. Definitely a good fit.